So holographic breathing naturally leads into this experience we're going to have today of shamanistically turning into different animals or different beings. And when holographic breathing first came through, I did spend about a year just becoming different animals, or getting the experience of being fish or snakes, or sometimes actually alien beings. But it gave me the ability to tune into and feel those animal spirits and how they moved and how they breathed. And this was helping me heal myself from the Lyme disease. I really was very, very ill at that time. And the fish, the dolphins and whales were very good for getting this sideways motion of the breath. Things like the ancient animals like sharks, and in particular monitors, these old lizards, feeling that movement through my body. They're so old, they have this incredible immune system, and being able to tap into that immune system and become those beings was very useful. We have that as a memory within us, but also through the womb. As we progress through the womb, we kind of also progressed through a lot of, being a fish, being a snake, being these different things, and within our DNA and through the whole evolution of Earth, that is in us. We can access that. So today we're going to do that with holographic breathing. And to start off with, I'm going to teach holographic breathing. So in holographic breathing, you can start this straight away. We're not going to do the movement of the jaw straight away, but you can start by getting the position of the tongue correct. So the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. It's the flat of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. The tip of the tongue is close to or touching the front teeth. And it's as much of the tongue as feels comfortable. So you can start off having that, and don't want to overstretch it. Over a period of time, the tongue will get softer and softer, and it will start covering the whole roof of the mouth. But to start off with, just have the flat of the tongue on the roof of the mouth as much as feels comfortable, and if it's easy to do, have the tip of the tongue close to or touching the front teeth. The lips are closed all of the time, so you have your lips closed, and the breath is through the nose all of the time. So that is holding it. The lips are closed and relaxed. The tongue is on the roof of the mouth and relaxed, and the breath is through the nose. Now, along with that, but I don't want you to do it yet, I just want you to get used to having the tongue on the roof of the mouth. Along with that, there's a gentle motion of the jaw. It's about 2 or 3 millimeters, very small motion of the jaw. On the in-breath, the jaw is gently opening, and on the out-breath, the jaw is gently closing. If you know holographic breathing, you can just drop into that. If this is your first time, it's best just to get used to and having the tongue in that place, breathing through the nose and having the lips closed. And in a little while we'll move into some exercises where I will teach that movement of the jaw in a relaxed and natural way. So I will demonstrate it a bit so you can see that the lips do stay closed even though the jaw is moving, and that it's a small, gentle motion. You may not even be able to see it, but you'll notice the lips don't open and the movement of the jaw is within it. And it becomes deeply relaxing very quickly. It's a very, very relaxing and meditative technique. Now, I want everybody just to try this little exercise before we go into learning that. Have your lips closed and just start moving your jaw up and down. So notice if you can move your jaw and keep your lips closed. It's a bit like chewing. When you eat, you can chew food and keep your lips closed. So just gently opening and closing the jaw, and notice that you can keep your lips closed while you do that. Put your hand up if you couldn't do that, if you couldn't move your jaw and keep your lips closed. Okay, everyone could do that. So when we come to it in the meditative part, you've got no excuse now. You have to be able to do that. All right, so we're now going to drop into the exercises and the learning of holographic breathing. So closing your eyes. And for the people who know holographic breathing, you can just drop into that. For the people who don't, the lips are closed and relaxed. Upper surface of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, tip of the tongue close to or touching the front teeth. And we're going to bring in some resources, saying hello to the earth, sending a smile, sending some energy to the earth, and allowing the earth to say hello back. Allowing yourself to receive from the earth. And notice what that feels like through your body and through your energies. And then sending a smile, sending some energy to the higher self. And also the beneficial energies. The beneficial energies are any channels you work with or any spiritual connections you like to work with. Sending them a smile, sending them some energy, and allowing them to say hello back. Allowing yourself to receive from the higher self and the beneficial energies. And notice what that feels like through your body and through your energy. And then having the lips closed, the tongue relaxed on the roof of the mouth. If you're new to this, it's good to start off with sitting up, because it's really easy to fall asleep through this particular part. So the lips are relaxed and closed, the tongue is on the roof of the mouth, the breath is through the nose, and then gently start opening and closing the jaw. Just 3 or 4 millimeters, about half a finger width. And notice if you can do that and keeping your lips closed. And now, as the jaw is opening, allow the breath to come in through your nose. Very gentle, small motion of the breath, and as it's opening, allow the breath to come in through your nose. And as it's closing, allow the breath to leave through your nose. Notice it starts to feel like a little pump. The lips stay closed, the tongue stays on the roof of the mouth. As the jaw opens, it brings the breath in through the nose. As the jaw closes, the breath leaves through the nose, relaxing the back of your neck, relaxing the back of your head, relaxing your whole body. Jaw opens, gently the breath comes in through your nose, the jaw closes, the breath leaves through your nose. And now, this is an important part, we're going to change the gestalt. Now bringing your awareness to the breath in through the nose. So we're going to swap it round. As the breath comes in through the nose, the jaw relaxes open. As the breath comes out through the nose, the jaw relaxes closed. And the whole energy changes, the whole state changes, everything relaxes, everything drops down into a very gentle, soft breath. So you're breathing in through the nose, the jaw relaxes open, breathing out through the nose, the jaw relaxes closed. As the teeth come together on the out-breath, they just very gently touch. There's no pressure. Breathing in, the teeth are separating. Breathing out, the teeth very gently coming together, or they just stay slightly separate. The tongue is relaxed and on the roof all of the time. The lips are relaxed and closed all of the time. Relax the back of the neck. Relax the back of the head. Breathing in, the chest is opening. As the chest opens, the jaw opens. Breathing out, the chest closes, the jaw closes. Breathing in, the chest opens and the jaw opens with it. It synchronizes with the chest. Breathing out, the chest closes and the jaw closes. The abdomen opens, the jaw opens with it. As the abdomen closes, the jaw closes with it. Notice how your whole breath is synchronizing, and this movement of the jaw is just becoming just a natural thing. You can barely feel it happening. It just becomes part of the breath. It's no longer a technique or an exercise. It just becomes part of the breath, as if it is a memory that has come back to life, as if you've always known how to do this. Breathing in, the whole body is opening and the jaw opens with it. Breathing out, the whole body is closing and the jaw closes with it. Notice in a very subtle way your whole face and cranium has started to breathe. And that you can feel this through your whole body. It's as if every cell starts to breathe. And the jaw just becomes part of the movement. You no longer need any attention on the jaw. It just kind of works by itself in the background. Breathing in, the jaw gently opens. Breathing out, it closes. The lips stay closed all of the time, and the tongue stays on the roof of the mouth all of the time. You may start feeling some energy moving through your spine, through your head, through your brain, and out through the top of your head. Holographic breathing starts to activate the Kundalini and the higher energies and the connection to the higher self, and also the connection to the earth. So if you feel any tinglings in your spine or in your brain or cranium, just allow them to happen and let the energies travel through. You may also feel energies releasing from the pelvis and the organs of the pelvis and rising up through your whole body. Gently breathing with the holographic breathing. We're going to come back in about a minute. Just gently breathing with the holographic breathing, allowing everything to soften, allowing everything to relax. And when you feel ready, gently allowing yourself to come back. So I don't think I've taught this to newcomers. I've always taught this to people who have been doing holographic breathing for a bit, and we're going to experience the sideways motion of the breath. But there's this movement of the jaw up and down, so there's a vertical movement of the breath, but there's also a horizontal movement of the breath. So we'll just have to see how quickly or not quickly people get that, and that is in the jaw. There's the feeling of the jaw. Breathing in, breathing out through the whole maxilla and the sides of the face. Breathing in, I can take these off. Through the sides of the cranium, breathing in, breathing out, and then through the whole body. And you start with the jaw, and it spreads. It spreads through the face, it spreads through the cranium, and then you're more sitting into the cranium, and then that spreads through your whole body, so you can feel this sideways motion. Now, along with that, if you feel into the sides of the throat and the sides of the cranium, you can start getting the experience of having gills and being a fish. And as soon as you can feel your gills breathing, you start getting the memory of when you were a fish and the ability or the feeling of being able to breathe underwater. I always used to get that a lot. But before I got holographic breathing, it was a regular dream where I'd be underwater and I think, oh, I'm going to drown now. And then suddenly I realize, oh, I can breathe underwater. I'm okay. I'm not going to drown. So hopefully everybody will get up after this and won't have drowned. We haven't lost anyone yet. So, but it's your own fault if you drown. It's not my fault. So if you feel like you're going to drown, breathe in. So we're going to learn that. We'll do that just to start off with, and we'll see how people do with that. So we will just, any questions before we start? Wave your hand if you want to say anything. All right, closing your eyes. And gently dropping into the holographic breathing. The lips are relaxed and together. The tongue is relaxed and on the roof of the mouth. The breath is through the nose. And very gently and softly, the jaw is opening on the in-breath. The jaw is closing on the out-breath. If you have any issues with any pain, or the tongue coming off the roof of the mouth, or the lips opening, make the movement slower, make the breath slower, and make it smaller and more gentle. So it can be, as long as it's moving, it can be a very small movement. This is more a thing of just allowing that memory to come to the lips and tongue. And over a period, that will just become part of an automatic motion. So gently breathing with the holographic breathing and noticing that travel through your whole body. Letting that release in the back of your neck, the back of your head, your brain. Now also start noticing you can feel or be with a sideways motion. And just start by feeling that in the jaw, as if the jaw can open to the sides on the in-breath and close back to the middle on the out-breath. This is actually a very physical, real thing that does happen to the jaw. As you breathe in, relaxes open to the sides. As you breathe out, it relaxes back in on the out-breath. It's towards the back of the jaw, and you might feel this up through your ears and up through your cheekbones. Breathing in, there's a sideways expression of the breath. It opens out to the sides on the in-breath, closes immediately on the out-breath, and this goes through your jaw, through your face, through the sides of your cranium. Breathing in, it all opens. Feel around your ears, opening on the in-breath, closing on the out-breath. If you don't feel this, it's okay just to visualize it or imagine it, and then after a while it will become more and more real. As your face and cranium starts to open and close in this lateral level, it also starts spreading down through your body. You'll feel it through the neck, through the chest and shoulders and arms, through the abdomen, pelvis and legs. Starts from the jaw, starts from the sides of the cranium, and then starts spreading through everything. And then feeling in the sides of your neck and your lower cranium, and there is the memory of having gills. Your gills are opening as you breathe in. Gills are closing as you breathe out. And as this starts happening, you start being able, feeling the water moving through your gills as they're opening and closing, and that you're taking oxygen out of the water, and this is feeding through your body. So you have the breath in the lungs feeding you with prana and energy and oxygen. You have the breath in the gills. It's also providing you life force and energy. The gills are opening on the in-breath. Gills are closing on the out-breath. And after a while you can feel yourself actually in a river or in the sea or in a lake, and you're underneath and you're breathing with your gills. And you may start to feel like a fish. And the whole side of your neck, cranium and face is connected into this mechanism of the gills, opening and closing to produce your breath. And all the different areas within the gills are fanning the water, and you're getting copious amounts of oxygen and life force from this breath. And you might start noticing the length of your spine as a fish, and you may start learning how to swim. You get this sideways motion of the gills. You also start getting this snaking through your spine as you start swimming. Or you may dart along for a bit and then stop and then move again. You might also, if you're a small fish, you might be a little bit wary of predators. It may be something that's going to eat you around, so notice what you feel in your environment, but notice you become weightless. You eat maggots. You eat maggots for dinner, or bugs and stuff, and you're this fish swimming in this clear water, breathing underwater. You may feel your brain changing, and you have a particular connection to nature, the earth, and the higher realms. And just swimming around, really get some movement into the lower spine and the tail, and notice your arms and legs become fins. And this whole sideways motion relates to this opening and closing sideways with the breath through your body. Your bones start becoming much more cartilagey. They start turning into cartilage. And you're swimming along as this little fish, breathing under the sea or the lake or the river. Notice that reality is in you, to become a fish and to breathe underwater. And you can just hang out and bask if you want in the sun and in the water. And you can wave your arms and legs, fins, waggle your tail. You've got a dorsal fin on your back which you can pull up. Notice you can pull your dorsal fin up. Breathing with your gills and swimming along. Let that energy, let that movement release through your brain. Notice this movement through the spine releases the energy in your spine and travels through the cranium and brain, releasing the energies in the cranium and brain. Breathing and swimming. Okay, we're going to come back in about a minute. Breathing and being with that, allowing your spine to release, allowing your brain to release. There's this sideways motion of the spine. Releases the energy through the spine and through the brain. Okay, and when you feel ready, gently allowing yourself to come back. This came about, I started doing holographic breathing, and I was also teaching this young lad who was going to have a huge operation to have whole areas of his jaw chopped out because his maxilla was held back and his jaw was held, so it meant his jaw was protruding forwards, and they were going to cut whole areas out of his jaw. And I taught him holographic breathing and how to fix it. His whole maxilla came forward, so he didn't need the operation. And the dentist was saying, now you have to teach him how to get it all to expand out to the sides now as well. So I started working with this sideways motion of the breath for myself. And I couldn't understand. I know how it works now, but suddenly the whole motion, the sides of my jaw just went whoosh. Started breathing in this way, and this big smile came on my face, and I could feel this whole expression of the sideways movement of the breath travel from my jaw through my whole body. And I could feel the different quality, and in the more vertical quality, this had a more male feel to it. This sideways movement was to do with grounding and the feminine. It brought me into the experience of my own intrinsic kind of female qualities. And also what I started feeling was my mother very strongly in my space, which I didn't really want. I thought I was somehow psychically connecting to my mother with this sideways motion, but then I realized it wasn't, because all of the pictures I were getting of her were of 20 or 30 years before, that it was just a memory of my mother releasing out of me, so I could let that go and go and go. And then after a while I could just feel the intrinsic quality of female through my whole body. So I had the intrinsic quality of male and the intrinsic quality of female. And then this carried on, and I started, as working with it with the throat, I started becoming a fish. And when I was going to sleep at night, I'd have to lie face down, because if you're lying on your back, you're an unhappy fish. So I'd actually have to lie face down at night to be a healthy fish. And then that changed to breathing out through the back of my head and this went on for months. I was like dolphins for months and experiencing being dolphins, and then that morphed into being whales, which carried on, and there was a whole intrinsic quality of those species which I was understanding within myself. So we're doing something very quickly which went on for a huge amount of time when I was first discovering the ins and outs. And this has carried on as this never-ending kind of journey of all these new experiences unfolding. I'm trying to remember, somebody wrote a testimonial for it. It's like, I can't remember, but it just, all of these kind of different dynamics and different energy systems and being able to work with yourself in different ways just unfolded, and this was part of that journey, but from the very beginning of that journey. And for what went on over 3 or 4 months, we're doing in a couple of hours. So it's not surprising that some people are, well, maybe I'm getting it or maybe not. And if you're not dropping into it very strongly and becoming a fish and a dolphin, it doesn't matter. Just feel it energetically. Just don't try to follow along. Just, you can follow the anatomy of it and just notice what that feels like in your body, not being a dolphin or a whale or a fish. It will energetically work anyway. All right, closing your eyes and gently dropping into the holographic breathing. The lips are relaxed. Now, I asked people to sit up when they were learning it, so they were staying awake. If you want to do it lying down, you can do it lying down now, but bear in mind you'll probably fall asleep. So gently dropping into the holographic breathing. Notice how naturally it comes. The lips are relaxed and closed. The tongue is on the roof of the mouth. The breath is through the nose. On the in-breath, the jaw is gently opening. And on the out-breath, the jaw is gently closing. And then start feeling this sideways motion through the jaw, through the face, through the head, through the body. The more you get used to this, you more feel there's this expansion of the jaw out to the sides. It feels like they're made of elastic. And the face and the cranium, and you get this sideways expression of the breath. The jaw is still opening and closing, but you get the expansion and contraction to the sides, and this may put a little smile on your face. And then feeling your neck and throat, and sides of your cranium. And start feeling that you can breathe with your gills. And if you allow the gills to come up and include the sides of the cranium, this will start ventilating the cranial fluid in your brain. Sutherland, who brought through cranial osteopathy, said the temporal bones of the cranium open and close like the gills of a fish. My guess is he was having a very similar experience of this. You can feel it in your neck. You can also feel it rising up into the sides of your cranium. You can feel that ventilating the cranial fluid through your whole brain. You can breathe with your gills. And you start getting this very fishy quality of relaxing into the sea, or a lake, or a river. And it's probably best to be in the sea because you're going to become a dolphin. So you're a fish swimming in the sea, and you'll be quite a large fish. You're in salt water now. You're breathing salt water with your gills. Let the breath be slow, and let there be pauses between your breaths. Notice your spine moving side to side as you become a fish. And feel that out through your arms and legs, which have become fins. And then start feeling the back of your head, or wherever you feel it. There's a blowhole, maybe the top of your head, the back of your head, wherever you feel it. Start breathing through there as if you're a dolphin. So the breath is more coming through the top of your head. And you start, rather than the side to side motion of the spine, you start experiencing the up-down motion of the spine. And you turn into this much stronger being. Got this long leathery body, you're very powerful. And you roll up and down through the water. The spine now is going back and forth. Becoming aware of the blowhole and also your front fins, which are your arms. This will help you become a dolphin. The dolphins very much relate through the heart. And however you feel, whether you're a dolphin or not, that is fine. Just be with that. But notice you can breathe through the back of your head. You may come in and out of the water as dolphins jump and roll through the water. Notice you can do that, or you can swim under the water. And even though dolphins don't breathe underwater, it's as if you can do that, be a dolphin and breathe under the water. The breathing is connected to the motion of the swimming. So whether you're underwater or coming on top, you can breathe as a dolphin. You've got this big tail, and you get this pressure right down into your lower back as you propel yourself along as a dolphin. Dolphins are kindred spirits. We're like the dolphins that came onto the land. Notice there's a more spiritual connection. As a dolphin, you've got a nice connection to the higher self and the universe and cosmos. Dolphins channel a spiritual energy. And they're very much like humans. Very much connected to those front fins. Strong movement. Breathing with holographic breathing, swimming as a dolphin in the sea, breathing through the back of your head. Notice that you may be in a pod with other dolphins, that you may have an affinity with other dolphins around you. You may find yourself eating fish. You've got teeth, you're a predator, you eat fish. And that you hear. A lot of your navigation is through sonar. You pick up through your ears. So you hear what is going on around you. You hear distances. And you can make a clicking noise with your nose for the sonar. Definitely getting this movement through the lower spine and the tail. This will exercise your whole spine front to back. And whatever you're feeling, that is fine. Okay, we're not going to come back, we're just going to turn into whales. So letting yourself drop into the water, and you're growing, and your awareness moves from your arms and your upper flippers down much more into your lower body, into your tail. You're much bigger, you're much slower. You breathe through the back of your head. Notice with the holographic breathing, you have the ability to morph into a whale. And you can hear these whale songs. And you can make whale songs. You're much bigger, your family may be much more spread out, you're in deeper water. And to swim, you have to be able to do the holographic breathing. The holographic breathing connects to this swimming motion, but you might notice that your breath becomes much slower and deeper. And notice the whale also connects to the universe. the whale has a spiritual connection to the universe, and that also, as the whale, you are part of a grid work that's kind of holding the whole earth. You are an emissary for the earth and the knowledge and wisdom of the earth and its connection to the universe and surrounding planets. And you can hear these whale songs, and you're big, and you've got these big slow movements, and your awareness is much lower in your body. You can feel your fins, but the propulsion, you get much more into your lower back and tail. You can go really deep. It's really good to exercise your lower back, the big tail, getting some energetic movement in your lower back, and notice how it connects you to your power, to your hara, to your strength. The dolphin was the heart. The whale is much more to your hara. Notice how your fins relate to your arms and legs. Let everything go, becoming a whale. And if you're not a whale, it's fine. Whatever you are, whatever you're doing, that is fine. Quite a strong letting go in the group at the minute. Just let everything go. Especially around the throat. Okay, and we're just going to be humans for a bit. Notice yourself, this release as it's going on. Let your throat and neck release. Let your pelvis release. Let your genitalia release. Let that energy from your pelvis and your genitalia release through your spine, through your head, through your face. Something to do with that knowledge of the whale is connecting to a similar place in people as a human, and you've got the human connection to the universe. Let your lower energies release. You have to let go around your throat, the underside of your jaw and chin, through the eyes and through the brain, the arms and legs. Breathing gently with the holographic breathing, letting that energy travel through your arms and legs. And allow yourself to have that reality of being a whale and that reality of being a dolphin and that reality of being a fish. Notice how that connects to you as a human. And I'm just noticing that this spiritual connection that the whale has is just opening people up as humans to their connection to the universe. Just allow that, your connection to the universe, the universal energies. Gently breathing with the holographic breathing. Okay, and we're going to slowly come back and we're going to just say a little ending prayer. Sending a thank you to the earth and the seas, and sending a thank you to the higher self and the beneficial energies. Letting the energies go off for love and healing to the earth, to the seas, to the whole earth, the seas and the earth bits, and let the energy go off to the higher self and the beneficial energies for love and healing, and allowing yourself to be loved and healed. And letting the energies go out to all sentient beings for love and healing. And you are a sentient being, allowing yourself to be loved and healed. And when you feel ready, gently allowing yourself to come back.